Hi, I'm Harold Lefty Williams, and welcome to the Sarah O'Connor Show.
Welcome to the Sarah O'Connor Show.
So welcome to the Sarah O'Connor Show. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here today. Are you in Los Angeles at the moment?
Yes, Los Angeles, California.
I'm very jealous. I've not been there in some time. I'm assuming it's pretty good weather today.
Yeah. It's pretty hot. It's really hot, about 85, 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
Summer in England is usually just slightly less rain than normal. That's pretty much as good as it gets.
Oh yeah. I lived in England for a little bit. I lived in Nottingham. I played in the BBL, British Basketball League, years and years ago, over 12 years ago.
Oh, fantastic. So before we get into your career, I'd love to talk a bit about your childhood. You come from humble beginnings and it wasn't the easiest childhood. Could you tell me a bit about that?
I grew up in Jersey City, New Jersey, to Harold Geathers and Rita Williams. My mom did the best she could with the resources that she had. Nobody's perfect. My father was physically and mentally abusive to me. I have 5 sisters, 2 brothers, and we just tried to make do with what we had. Been through a lot in my life, and over the course of those things, before my dad passed away 3 years ago, we got a chance to have 7 years of restoration. So I'm really big on not just talking about the hell that I've been through, but really talking about the restoration that can take place in people's lives if they allow it to happen.
Absolutely, that's a really good thing. So still turning a negative into a positive and getting a positive outcome from it.
Right. Positive outcome, which I'm really excited about. And this is what I teach kids to do. I teach them to dare to dream.
That's fantastic. Now, did you always want to be a basketball player?
Basketball found me. So I talk to people all the time about allowing your purpose to find you. Because how can you dream when you live in a nightmare? I grew up living a nightmare, literally. So one day I was outside, and in the back of where I lived, there was a shed, a shack, a burnt down house. I lived in a rough neighborhood, so you see a lot of those, right? And so there was a milk crate. I tried to pull out some nails, ran upstairs and got a hammer, straightened out the nail, and now I have a basketball hoop, right? I emptied out the back of the milk crate. I didn't have name brand sneakers. We'd go to places like, I don't know if they have it in England, but where you are, but places like Payless or Shoes for Less, where they're cheap shoes. My mom did what she could, and so my shoes may cost $10. They may cost $20. I didn't have name brand shoes till I got to my 11th grade year in high school. But I had a vision, and my vision was to be successful, to change my environment, to work extremely hard as I can to change the environment that I lived in. I didn't want to be on government assistance. I know what it's like to share a bed with 5 other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just worked extremely hard, and I had a coach tell me that if you rebound from me, you'll play. And I said, wow, all I got to do is grab a rebound, because I wasn't Lefty yet. I didn't have the athletic ability. I wish I could tell you that when I was 8 or 9 or 10, I could dribble the ball real nice and fancy. And I didn't have any of those skills yet, but I had a lot of heart, and I had the will to work
at it.
Yeah. I just wanted to get better, and that's what it was about. And it was on those premises that I was able to grow and become what everyone now knows as Harold Lefty Williams.
Right. So to start with, before you got to the famous team, you played for the Washington Generals, who quite famously had a losing streak that extended from 1971.
Yeah. So that was pretty fun. My slogan is, a delay is not a denial. Many doors have been slammed in my face. Many windows have been slammed shut. On my journey and my process of trying to pursue this dream, but ultimately it hasn't been denied. So I started out with trying to get a workout for the Globetrotters, and then the general said, well, if they want you, we'll definitely take you. I've been on the NBA circuit of trying to be in the NBA Summer League and all these other type of things. As I mentioned, I played in England, played in the British Basketball League, Japan. I bounced around. So I get a chance to play with the Generals, and, the guys are doing tricks on you. You're losing every night. And I want to be on the winning side. This is where I want to be. So one game, I began to steal the ball and go the other way and do put on my own show, And the CEO at the time was there, and he said, "Hey, man, they came to see, us, not you." And it was humble beginning. And then he let me know. He said, "Hey, the guy who pretty much scouted me was out of the hospital, Charles Tex Harrison. He have since passed away, but guys like that believed in me, and I flew to Houston, Texas for my audition, and it happened to be around the time when Walt Disney purchased the team, and Walt Disney named me Lefty. So I'm really, really forever grateful for that."
Now, the reason that you're called Lefty is because you're the first left-handed showman in Harlem Globetrotters history.
It's never been done before. I don't think it'll ever be done again. It's a lot of challenges. It's not hard. Nothing's impossible, but you got to work at it. And I was fortunate enough and blessed enough to say I was and I am the first ever.
So would you say sort of coordinating different trick shots and all that kind of thing was harder because of being left-handed?
Right, because a lot of the stuff goes to the right. So there's the weave, the funny weave they do where it comes with your right hand. There's the right hand hook shot, and I'm left-handed. I don't shoot with my right hand. I don't do those things. I can, but that it doesn't come off naturally. And so, in terms of the comedy, the comedic style stuff, that wasn't hard for me. I really enjoyed that. It was easy for me to pick up. I'm a jokester at heart. But in terms of the technical stuff, being left-handed, it didn't come natural, no.
Do you have a favorite trick shot that you like to perform?
My bowling ball, where I'm at half court and I do like regular bowling and I just throw it up with one hand and it just goes right in. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
I'd have to do that about 2,000 times and then just keep filming it for like 3 days and then hopefully get it and just pretend I did it the first time.
Yeah. I think if you do 1 out of 5, you're doing good. So it's not that bad. So every 5 attempts, you want to at least hit 1. So that's what I aim for. Yeah.
So do you prefer the more competitive side of basketball or the more, as you say, the showmanship, the entertainment?
Even in the entertainment, even in the fun, I find a way to be competitive. I find a way to perfect my craft. I find a way to keep pushing myself. So I prefer the competitive side, but from the comedic side, I can still be competitive because I want to be the best showman I can be. When you look at Lefty, or you think of some of the greats who have done this, like Meadowlark Lemon, Curly Neal, Geese Osby, guys like those, you want to be mentioned in the greats, right? You want to go down as one of the greats. And so I perfect my craft to be able to, be mentioned as one of the greats, So either way, and what I love about what I do is I get the opportunity for 2 hours to get whoever comes to the show, whatever problems they're going through, I can get them to forget about that for that moment. You know why? Because I'm having them laughing. They're holding their stomach laughing. They're holding their face, and and the smile is lighting up. And it's things like that you really learn to appreciate because, for 2 hours, no matter what they were dealing with, big or small, whatever problem, they weren't thinking about it because you had them smiling. And it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's a really sort of special and magical thing if you can, it's, to give that to people and, take their cares away for a couple of hours. I think that's amazing.
Right.
So what are your career highlights, I guess, from being in the Harlem Globetrotters? Anything that particularly stands out to you?
I had the honor and privilege of being understudy to Showtime, Paul Gaffney. I got a chance to see how he approached the game as such a true professional in every aspect of it. I also got a chance to see what not to do, watch some of the failures, but he had it for a long run, man. I think he did it for 15 or 16 years. In addition to that, I got a chance to actually lead and learn where my spots on the floor. I got a chance to learn, what's a good joke and what's really not a good joke. You know what I mean? I got a chance to travel to 25 different countries, 8 provinces of Canada, all 50 states.
Wow.
Got a chance to meet some really cool people. And I really got a chance to really learn what it means firsthand to be a professional, because I say that if you can make it as a Globetrotter, you can make it doing anything in life, because no one, to me, works harder than a Globetrotter. And it's that work ethic that makes you stand out from anyone in the crowd, because no matter what type of day you're having, no matter what you're going through, when you hear Sweet Georgia Brown, you're ready to do it, you know?
Yeah, definitely. So after following and pursuing your dreams, you now help other kids pursue theirs. What can you tell me about the Harlem Dreams that you set up?
Well, the Harlem Dreams is a for-profit company that's like a showman entertainment team that we travel the world doing the show entertainment stuff, which I really find joy in. I'm really happy about that. Speak to kids at schools, all of those great things, showing them a piece of their dreams. What you're speaking of is my foundation, which is the Harold Lefty Williams Dare to Dream Foundation. And we teach kids to dare to dream. Just pretty much through character and sports development. You know, with the things, the way hoops are going, whether it's AAU basketball or the high school sports or the 16 and under clubs, it's just not, the game of basketball is not being taught the right way to me anymore. I think it's going down, it's going backwards, and it's really sickening to me. And so having 2 boys of my own who play basketball,
Wow.
I want to make sure that I teach them the game the right way. In addition to character development. So we teach them mind, body, soul, education, accountability, which not many kids or adults for that matter want to be held accountable for anything that they do. Enthusiasm, because if you're not having fun, if you're not really enjoying what it is that you're doing, you won't have it long, because it'll show. It'll show. And when it becomes work, it's not fun, you know? And, you know, I heard someone say, well, if you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life. And there's a lot of truth to that. And that starts with enthusiasm.
So it's not just about teaching kids skills, it's also about life skills and values that they'll hopefully keep with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Teamwork, development, letting them know that you can dare to dream, you know, but there's something that you have to do. You got to put some work towards it. And that comes with accountability, having a mentor, whether it's a mentor for a couple of months, couple of years, or just for the moment, you know, for that advice, giving yourself to someone and saying, this person knows more than what I know, and humbling yourself and being open to instruction.
And the great thing is too, you obviously inspire a lot of people, so you keep them on the right track and, you know, working towards their goals and not veering off into perhaps bad directions.
Oh yeah, for sure, without a doubt. I mean, that's what you get joy in. You know, the one thing about inspiring people, you don't get to control who takes what you're saying to heart. You don't get to control, you know, I touched that person today. I was able to touch that person today. You don't know, right? So I take the farmer's approach, you know, where not the gardener's approach. A gardener will, you know, plant whenever they want to. It's kind of recreational, where a farmer is like, you know what, if I don't plant, I don't eat. You know, my life is connected to the seed, connected to planting. And so that's how I do. I take the mindset of a farmer and I keep planting, not knowing what's going to harvest, what's going to spring up. You know what I mean? So
Love it. So what advice would you give to anyone that wants to get into basketball, or perhaps be a Globetrotter one day, or just to pursue their dreams?
I would just say, first thing, all things are possible if you only believe, if you dig deep, and be real with yourself. You got to be real with yourself. You got to look yourself in the mirror and say, you know, no matter what hell I may be going through in my life, where I'm headed doesn't or should not reflect where I currently am, you know, the state of the situation that I'm in right now, because I won't be here always in this situation. And then you want to actually begin to work on your craft. You know, if you're saying you're an actor, what are you doing? You should be working on a monologue. You should be looking in the mirror. You should be connecting with other actors. You should be going to seminars. You should be YouTubing some stuff. You know, you should be memorizing the scene from your favorite movie and then trying to reenact it in the mirror. You know, if you're a basketball player, you should be working on your game. You know, when someone's hanging out at the movies, you should be at the basketball court. You know, somebody somewhere in a different time zone where you don't live, everybody's not sleeping. Somebody's somewhere working. And if you take the approach that you're behind the 8 ball, you know, they are ahead of us, you know. In Japan, they're ahead of us in time, 15 hours. I gotta catch somebody. Somebody's got a head start on me. And if you do that and keep working hard and treat people the way you want to be treated, I really believe good things will happen for you, because we reap what we sow. And if you're sowing these good things, it's got to come back to you.
Right. So it's really all about sort of taking control of your own destiny and trying to steer it in the best possible direction.
That's the best way to do it, because I've seen a lot of people who were better than me not make it because they chose to do different things. I've seen a lot of people who had less talent than me, but have really had a better drive than I had at a certain point in my career.
Yeah.
And didn't make, because they chose to make a difference. You know, I was able to stand out, not just from my talent, because my talent began to take over years later, right? But my passion and my drive, my work ethic. And if you're willing to work, if you're willing to put the time in, it's going to happen for you. It's going to happen.
So what have you got planned for the rest of the year? I know you're super busy all the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, right now is a down season for me. Just came back from a place called World Sports Camp, which is a huge, one of the largest sports camps in the U.S. for kids in the summertime. Did a chance to do a show for them. We'll get started back up in October. So now it's just downtime, working on some stuff with my children, basketball stuff for my boys and for my daughter, doing a lot of auditioning. My son just did some stuff for McDonald's. Really excited about that.
Amazing.
Yeah, so we're really excited about that. And so now it's just seeing what happens, you know, just enjoying this vacation before the kids get back to school, and then right back at it. Yeah.
I can definitely relate to that. So if anyone wants to find you online, be it on Twitter or somewhere else, where can they find you?
On all of my social media, it's Lefty Williams 42, Lefty Williams, the number 4, the number 2. If you'd love to hear more about the foundation, we would love your help, whatever type of help it is, volunteer, financial support, whatever. You just want to get plugged in. Go to leftysfoundation.com, LEFTYS foundation.com, leftysfoundation.com. And I want each and every one of you to dare to dream. You're not too young, you're not too old to pursue what's pursuing you.
Absolutely. And thank you for being here today on my show, and for being a huge inspiration and continuing to change the lives of kids and just people all around the world.
Hey, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you to everyone that's been watching at home. Please be sure to share, subscribe, like, give the video a big thumbs up, and I'll see you all again soon for another episode of The Sarah O'Connell Show. Bye.
Thank you so much.